Lil Ugly Mane is actually pretty creative with these instrumentals. From what I've understood, albums like Mr. Thug, Isolation, and Oblivion Access have this really dark and eerie tone mixing with his voice. So it was really surprising to see him go in such a weird direction with this new album, Volcanic, Bird Enemy, and The Voice Concern. This album is what we're going to be taking a look at today to see if it really lives up to my expectations. Because honestly, when I was going into this album, I didn't think it was going to be that good. Sometimes with these new artists, sometimes when I listen to artists I haven't listened to before, I kind of go in with like a pessimistic view, and I'm often left surprised by how good some of their music is. And this is no different. Wait! Before this video starts, I have some news to tell you. Some very important news though. You know, we could talk about Lil Ugly Mane all day. We could talk about Volcanic, Bird Enemy, and The Voice Concern all we want. But before that, I got something very important to tell you. This channel, Other Music Critics, has just now, after 10 months of consistent uploads, reached 500 subscribers. Yes, I know. It's pretty cool. Everyone cares. I'd like to take this time to thank you guys for being here with me while I make these stupid little videos about things that not many people care about realistically. I mean, if a lot of people did care about it, I have a lot more subscribers than I do now. But for 500 people consistently watching videos or even just stopping by to appreciate my work, that means a lot to me. And on the topic of work, you will be expecting a lot more videos from me very, very soon. It's the summer after all, so I have barely any, I don't have anything to do, so I'm just gonna start spam uploading videos that I find fun. News though, last night I had a live stream where I recorded myself reaching 500 subscribers. I'll have music playing like this. How does it feel having less subs than Sickbee? How many subs do you have? How many subs do you have? Oh shit. And I promised the people on that live stream, if I hit 500 subscribers on that live stream, I would make a Discord for the YouTube channel. So by the time this video is up, the Discord is out. It's linked to my YouTube channel, but also linked into the description if you want to check it out. And back to live streaming, I will be live streaming every single Sunday for this summer. Of course, I can't be doing that once school starts again, obviously, but I'll just start streaming when I feel like it. But for right now, every single Sunday at the very least. All right, now back to Lil Ugly Mane. I'm also going to splice in some of my live reactions to this album throughout the video, so you guys enjoy. Bird Enemy Car. Now this one just starts off with this repeating sample just saying, "Who are you?" And it's honestly kind of unsettling in a way. I didn't really expect the album to open off like this, but I guess it really does like set the tone for what this album expands on. I guess self-reflection, stuff like that. I was wishing for a little bit more from this intro track, but I don't know, I guess it just kind of overstays its welcome. It's like a pretty alright start. Not to say that all the other tracks are any better or worse. I do think most of the tracks after this starter track are a lot better though. And then the track ends off with, "The bird regards the trainer as an enemy." So there's a lot of bird talk on this album, I don't really know where that comes from. There's just a lot of bird talk apparently. Track 2 starts off with this weird ass like fairy tale sample. It sounds so like bright and like upbeat for just Lil Ugly Mane's drab vocals. He kind of sounds like, Mac DeMarco. Just
500 cigarettes.
monotone rapping and just talking throughout the song. I think it contrasts pretty nicely. This is one of the more experimental tracks, if I'm being honest. It's just so weird, the instrumental contrasting his vocals. I'm kind of a big fan of it actually. The chimes in the background with the little noise. I don't know, it's kind of heat, not gonna lie. Oh my god, this light is so bright, I can barely look at this camera. Alright, Benadryl Submarine is track 3, and this is the first track where it really begins to pick up some crazy speed. I think the guitar and the drums on this are very, very unique, It mixes with Lil Ugly Mane's vocals and lines really, really well. I can't really say much about the song that already hasn't been said though, but I do think this is a very nice track. This weird like emo style guitar playing in the background mixes with these nice synths, and Lil Ugly Mane's chorus kind of just makes it all fit together. So I really, really like this track. Track 3, Benadryl Submarine, is very, very good. Human Fly is a little bit slower. It starts off with this weird like drum loop at the beginning with pots and pans being hit or something like that. Really creative drums, or at least like foley coming from this kind of style of production. And then this flute comes in with these nice loops. Of course, Lil Ugly Mane's vocals are kind of being like strained with this one, and that's a theme you'll really really see throughout most of the album. But besides that, I do think this track is pretty nice. Not as good as Benadryl Submarine though. You know, for track 3, that's a pretty early highlight in the album. And you'll come to find out most of the bangers are around the middle. Golden here starts off with this, a saxophone with this like really high-pitched like squeaking or synth. It kind of reminds me of Flies by Death Grips. No, it reminds me of Streaky by Death Grips because of that beginning sample. But yeah, pretty good production coming from Lil Ugly Mane. These verses are pretty unique, and I think the chorus fits really well in this song too. Let's get back to Volcanic, Bird Enemy, and the Voice Concern. Styrofoam kind of takes like a different like direction from the other kinds of samples so far. We have this like weird like loop just playing in the background, kind of distorted, kind of muddy. There's a lot of noise in the background of this one. I don't know. I feel conflicted about this one because it sounds like literally conflicted. I don't know. This one kind of just falls towards the middle, you know, like tier of songs. I could take it or leave it, you know. Cold in here is just okay. Hostage Master starts off with this really vibrant beginning and then goes into this like dark rooted, like hitting pots and pans again, kind of like drum loop with Lil Ugly Mane, you know, beginning to strain his vocals again, you know. I do like the verse. I do like the vocals for the most part. I just think singing is not his forte. Singing is not what he was built for. I'm gonna really just go over Beach Harness real quick because it's just a quick little interlude. It's just a whole bunch of ambience and beats and just this nice like beat for around 3 minutes. It sounds pretty nice, you know. A lot of layered production. It sounds very vibrant. It's kind of like the stuff, you know, you'd hear like from like Quadeca or the microphones or just great production for that matter. I'm just naming great producers because it's pretty good. Discard was the first track from this album I actually listened to, and I think this one has a very creative sample that gets tied in really nicely with Lil Ugly Mane's singing. And, you know, as much as I do think, you know, he's not the best singer in the world, I think it does kind of fit here with like this wacky, like, kind of beat. And the chorus does go pretty hard here too with that sample coming back in. I think it really ties everything together. Discard is a great track in my opinion. Headboard probably has the best beginning beat of the whole entire album, just starting off with this singing sample with this guitar and these drums that just kick in all at the same time. It's a really great start to this track, and Lil Ugly Mane just keeps the momentum going with these really like creative verses and like refrains and stuff like that. I think it's a really good, you know, just all around rounded off great song. This is like one of the defining tracks off this album, and I think it's a really good track. Headboard is definitely one of my favorites. Now Into a Life is definitely like my second favorite. It's so good. This piano that just plays subtly, and like Lil Ugly Mane is like talking about all this stuff, singing, and it doesn't sound that strained compared to his other songs, and the drums and everything just comes together, and it's brilliant. You know, I really like this one. Just goes to show, you know, just like how flexible Lil Ugly Mane's production can get. Clapping Seal also just kind of falls back into the background for me. I think the chorus, he does like strain his voice a bit. He's, and I balanced the ball on my nose. You could tell his vocals were kind of given out there, but you know, I'm not gonna blame him for that. I think this one's pretty nice. The sample is pretty good. So this is a pretty good track. Pretty good track. The drum loop on VPN goes so fucking hard, bro. VPN is just an absolute fucking like banger, bro. Like everything about VPN is amazing. I really like this one. And his vocals, for some reason, you know, as straining as his vocals like sound, as much as it sounds like he just like smoked the whole entire pack of like Marlboros or something, he really does sound great matching this kind of production. The layered noise and stuff like that you can really only get from like certain producers. He pulls this off like seamlessly, and I really respect that. I think VPN definitely top 3 on this album. Definitely top 3. Swell is another instrumental track. I think it is a little bit better than the other one. I think this is better. This is the better instrumental of the two on this album. It's just nice, like ambient. You know, this is like something like you'd study to, or you're in a loading screen of a video game. You know, I think it's really nice, really ambient. It's textured very well, and I appreciate that. So far into this album, Lil Ugly Mane's been killing it. You know. I haven't really heard Mr. Thug Isolation, but if it's as good as this, then I'm definitely gonna have to give it a shot. God. Stock Car hits us with these really cool like synth plucks that go on throughout the track with this nice drum loop, and Lil Ugly Mane just kind of going at it like lyrics wise. This is a nice all-rounder track. I think this one's pretty good. What else do I even need to say at this point? It's not like I'm repeating my words though. I mean, this album is kind of all over the place. Sometimes you're gonna get something a little bit more dark, and then you're gonna get something like track 2, which is all wacky and like fun for some reason. Literally sounds like a beat like Doc McStuffins. Like it sounds like a beat you'd hear from the show fucking Doc McStuffins. It's crazy. But Stock Car's a little bit more weird, you know? This is just a weird album in general. Cursor is literally a track about, I hope your day is bad. I hope you have a bad day. I'm gonna put a curse on you. You're gonna die, buddy.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
Bold feudal flavor. This one, it's all right. You know, I'm gonna be honest. This one's all right. Kind of strains his voice a little bit, but I think he pulls it together with the last 2 tracks. Wasted entertainment. Pretty good vocals off Broken Ladder, and this nice, like, really fast-paced beat for some reason coming into the end of the album with a very fast-paced beat. Kind of throws me for a loop a little bit. Really nice though. I didn't expect it, but you know, I think I needed that for the end of the album. And then the final track, Porcelain Slightly, is probably one of the most popular tracks off this album. Really nice guitar off this one, and you know, I think it's just a really great way to end off this album. It kind of sounds like a triumphant win with this flute going on in the background, a Lil Ugly Mane just like rapping really nice and like soft and stuff like that. I think it's a really nice way to tie off this album. So that was Volcanic, Bird Enemy, and The Voiced Concern. That was 8 words. Holy moly. I think this album was really, really good. If you like cloud rap and you like stuff like that where the instrumentals can get a little bit wacky at some points, you also like someone who sounds like Mac DeMarco, you know, you might like this album. The production is also very, very layered, so if you have like a ear for that, I think this would be right up your alley. But yeah, I'm just another music critic. Thank you for 500 subscribers, and next video is on Teletubbies.